Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am very excited for today's video because I'm going to be updating you guys on all of the pans throughout my collection. This is not including eyeshadow pans in my collection, but this is all of the makeup products that currently have pan in my collection, and I'm very excited to have my tub of products to share with you guys today. Really quick though, I wanted to share that since I've been tracking this since 2021, I believe like wintertime, winter time of 2021. When I updated you guys this past June, I had 27 products in my beauty collection that had pan on it, and today I only have 21 products to share with you. I did actually end up finishing up 8 of the products that had pan on my collection throughout the last 6 months, and I added only 1 pan to my products with pan. So I have 21 products to share with you guys today. I'm very excited. I love tracking the pans in my collection. I love hitting new pans. I'm hoping that I can have some more pans to share with you in 6 months from now, because I'm like, dang, I finished up 8 products, but I didn't add a ton of pans to my collection. So we're gonna get into all of it, so stay tuned if you're interested. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project panning content, palette themed content, or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Are we loving the like holiday coloring with the green eyeshadow and the red sports bra? I know, I'm loving it. I am pre-filming this just a bit, but I don't think there's any additional pans that I'm going to hit within my collection. There's definitely nothing more that I'm going to finish up. So just know I'm pre-filming this a bit, but let's get right into it, you guys. I'm gonna start with bronzer, and I have 7 bronzers in my collection that have pan. So first up, we have my Marc Jacobs Tantastic bronzer, and this has had a pan in it since I first started sharing my pans in my collection. Again, I think fall time this year, so about 6 months, 12 months, about 2 years at this point in time. I'm like, and I can tell that the pan has grown so much, which is crazy because I've been reaching for this quite a bit lately, and in my head, I'm like, I feel like my pan hasn't expanded at all, but I'm looking at pictures now and I'm like, okay, my pan has definitely expanded some. I'm also gonna scoot over so that I can post some pictures over here. My pan has expanded quite a bit. There's still so much product left in this bronzer. I anticipate we'll continue to see this throughout probably at least another year. Like, I don't think I could finish this entire pan in 2024. Another bronzer that has had a pan for over 2 years in my collection, this is the Ilia Drawn In Night Light Bronzing Powder. This is what mine's looking like. I do have the first pan uncovered. Hoping to uncover that second pan soon. Hoping to actually have this bronzer as an empty next year. I'm like, with 7 bronzers with pan, I have the ability to potentially finish up a couple of powder bronzers in 2024, so hoping that I can do that. Then I have my Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer in Indasun. I swear this pan hasn't grown at all, you guys, but I have used this bronzer so much. This is truly like the never-ending bronzer. I would love to see if I could finish this next year, but I like genuinely, I feel like my under eyes are looking like very dark. Anyway, I feel like it's just not gonna happen. I honestly just feel like I'm always just gonna have this tiny little baby pan. I'm trying to look. I don't feel like the pan has grown at all, but that's where we're at with that one. Next up, I have this NARS bronzer. This is the Laguna bronzer. This is the like, is it the Sun Chaser or the Sun Wash bronzer? So it's not quite as pigmented. So mine chipped and broke in like around the first time I updated you guys on this having a pan was June of 2022. So I just wanted to share it because it does have a pan, but I've also owned this bronzer for so many years and used this so much, and I feel like I barely even have a dip in the center. So like, I feel like this bronzer could take like 5 years to finish, but that one's still chugging along. Next up, I have the Tom Ford bronzer, which, did I update this last update? No. So have I added 2 products with pan? I always get very confused by my number. This is actually the first time that you are seeing this Tom Ford bronzer with a pan, which is so exciting. It took me so long to hit the pan in this bronzer. This is the Glow bronzer, and I have mine in the shade 2 Terra. This is such an expensive product, but I really do love this bronzer, and I would potentially consider purchasing this again in the future. I think I would want to get through some of my other bronzers, but this I also have my eye on eventually splurging on the Gucci bronzer, so I think I could finish this one next year. I really enjoy this in the spring summertime, and I feel like my product is so thin around this pan that it wouldn't take a ton of effort to really expand that pan. So this one might be another bronzer empty that you'll see in 2024. And then another new bronzer pan to my collection is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer. I finally have a pan smack dab in the center of this. This is also a very large bronzer, so I still feel like we've got a lot of product left to go. Although again, I feel like the product is so thin around the edges here that with just a little bit of effort, I could really expand this pan. This is another one that's quite warm on me, so I really enjoy this in the spring summer, but it doesn't quite work for me in the winter time. So I think we'll see an expanded pan next time that you guys are updated on that. Oh, and then I guess I do have an 8th bronzer. This is a contour technically. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Film Store Bronze and Glow Mini, and this I first shared with you guys in June of 2022. So we have, I think, expanded the pan, maybe some, maybe not at all. I'm like, maybe not since the last time I updated you guys. And I barely have a dip in the highlight, like at all, like no dip. So there's still a lot of product left in that. Oh, I also missed my cream bronzer. So this is my Huda Beauty Tantour, and this I also shared with you for the first time in June of 2022. This is what my pan is looking like. I feel like I used this quite a bit this summertime, but I don't feel like, I'm like looking at pictures, I feel like there's not a ton of expansion within this pan as well. This is a cream product, obviously, so I need to get working on this so that this doesn't end up going bad on me. My only thing with this is it definitely is more of a full coverage cream product. So usually when I'm reaching into a cream product, I'm going for more of a sheer, whereas this is really more of a full coverage cream. So I still really like that product though, and should get more use out of it. Moving on to blush. I only have one blush in my collection that has a pan. It is this, honestly, it's like a blush topper from a Smashbox Trio. I ended up depotting this, and let me see, where's my picture of this? Okay, I shared with you this product first in July of 2022 as well, and I ended up trying to like Franken a product. That's why we saw such a great expansion in the pan. Last update I had this expansion. I don't know if we've expanded anymore since the last update, but I have reached for this. I absolutely love this product. I don't know if I could finish this next year. Maybe that should be a goal, because I do like to top this on like honestly every blush, so I feel like I could get a lot of use out of it. It is quite firmly pressed though. Oh, it is so pretty. Yeah, maybe I should try and finish this next year. This is such an old product in my collection as well. Moving on to highlights, you guys. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 highlighting like singles. Basically, one's a duo, and then I have a face palette with highlight pan as well. Maybe we can start with the highlighting palette. I shared this with you guys for the first time in 2 years ago. Winter time of 2021, and then at that time I only had the one pan in the palette. Last time I updated, I believe, or even the time before that, I had expanded to having 2 pans, and now I'm very excited to say that every single pan within this face palette has a pan in it, which is super exciting. I recently, within the last month or two, hit a pan on the shade Gilded Gold to add that 3rd pan, so I'm very excited about that. Okay, other highlights in my collection with pan. This has had a pan for so long. This, and actually I have repressed this, but last picture I showed you too, I had repressed it, and I haven't actually hit a new pan in it. But this is my Fenty Beauty highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I have 2 pans. I have a pan, well, now I've repressed this, so I don't have a new pan on this side, but this was a very, very large pan on this side, and then I have the smaller pan on the more intense side. At some point in my life, it would be awesome if I could finish this split pan of highlight. I don't know if that's possible or not, but this has been a favorite highlight in my collection for years. Then I have my Natasha Denona Glow highlight, and I will be very curious to see as I compare photos if I feel like this pan has expanded, because I feel like I've been using this quite a bit lately to try and expand this pan. This is another old one in my collection. I've had pan on this for over 2 years at this point in time, and this is another one that I would love to see if I could eventually finish it up. Again, it's quite a large pan, quite a large pan of product. There's a lot of product still in this, but I feel like I have such a good pan on that. I would love to see how I could see that product grow. Then I have ColourPop Lunch Money, which I'll be, again, kind of curious to see just because of the way you apply this product. I don't feel like I've used much of this year, but I'll be curious to see how I feel like the pan has expanded. This is something I'm like, it still feels, oh, so bouncy to the touch. Okay, I was like, do I need this anymore? No, we're not decluttering it. We're not decluttering it. We're gonna keep this Super Shock in my collection. It still feels really nice and like bouncy and creamy. But I do have a pan on that and have for a couple of years, and it still feels like a really great product. All right, next up, when I first shared this product, I thought I had a pan and I didn't for a year and a half. And then I got to scraping this product because I didn't think I had much of this product left. I was gonna scrape it into a lotion. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I have so much of this product left. This is the Bobbi Brown Pink Glow Highlighter Mini. You get so much product in this mini product. This is one of my favorite highlights of all time. I don't know that my pan has grown much, but I have been reaching for this. This will take me literally forever to finish that product, but that one does now have a pan, but it was kind of a cheat of a pan. I did not get there on my own through just highlighting the face. That was like me scraping into lotion and wanting to see just how deep the pan actually was, because clearly I was mistaken. Okay, this next product I shared for the first time in June of 2022. And this is my Kosas Duo in the shade Papaya, and I have a pan in this kind of like blush. Like, I use this really as a blush, but I don't know. I feel like it would be considered the highlight side of this product, but I really use it as a blush topper. I don't know if it's expanded much. I did reach for the sun this past spring summer. I feel like maybe the pan's expanded a little, but also maybe not. But there's my little baby pan. I have really been loving this shade of blush, or I really did this past spring summer. So if that carries on into this spring summer, I feel like we will see an expansion in that pan. It's always so fun to track your pans in your collection, because then you can see, like, it's so fun to see the pan expansion throughout the months / years. All right, another Fenty Beauty highlight. I shared this for the first time in June of last year, and I have a pan on the more subtle side of this pink highlight, this pink highlight in Girl Next Door and Chic Freak. I feel like my pan has expanded some. I did reach for this quite a bit this summer. I was loving a pink highlight, as I always do, and this is more of like, kind of gives me like warmer pink feelings, as opposed to like a lot of my Fenty Beauty highlights are more of like a cooler pink. So I really enjoyed using that this summer. I'm excited to see how that expands again next spring, summertime. Then we have my Vesca Beauty highlight in the shade Moonlight, which Moonlight, which again I shared last June. This is where the pan is at. I have been using this, but I feel like my pan hasn't expanded at all. This is such a beautiful highlight. It makes me so sad that Vesca isn't a brand anymore, but this is one of my absolute favorite highlights when I'm not looking for a pink highlight. And if I feel like a highlight, like, I'll mix this with other highlights that maybe are like too golden, I'll mix it with this, and I love how this mixes. I use this kind of as a mixing highlight. I also love this as an inner corner highlight on the eyes. It's such a pretty one. So I'm excited to see how that one expands throughout the next couple, probably years as well. I can't believe I missed this, but my Mary Luminizer has had a pan since I first started sharing in January, December-ish of 2021. And my pan has definitely expanded. I was working on this in my Rolling Project 10 pan towards the end of the year. I'm worried because I feel like the pan is looking a little bit crumbly in the center here. And I've seen people pan this, and I know I've got years worth of progress ahead of me. But it does make me excited to at least see this pan grow some, because I feel like for a solid 2 years, like, there was no pan expansion at all. And now clearly this is getting use. So we'll see how this grows again throughout the next 6 months, next year. I'll continue to update every 6 months, but that's where we're at with Mary Lou. And then my Pixie by Petra I shared for the first time last holiday season. This is in the shade Delicate Dew. I had a pan on this side, which is the pink side. This is definitely a more intense highlight, which is not always my preference, but I did reach for this some more this past year. I don't know if I've reached for it a lot since I last updated in June. There was a pan expansion from like December to June, but I don't know if we'll see an even further expansion in this one. I thought maybe I would try and see if I could hit a pan on this side too, but it's definitely a little bit deep for me. So maybe this summertime I need to try and use this as a body highlight to get some use out of this and try and hit a pan there. but as of right now, we still only have pan on the one side of the Pixie highlight. And then the last two products I have to update you guys on are both face palettes. So up first, I have my Smashbox Cali Contour. I shared this one with you guys for the first time in 2021, and I just had a pan on the setting shade. That is still all I have a pan on. I would love to really try and I don't know that I don't want to do a pan that palette, but something where I really cycle through my face palettes, because I have been loving my face palettes the last year or so, and I would like to really come back to this and at least see some dents in the rest of the shades within this palette, because I really did love this palette at one point in time, and I feel like I haven't shown it the love that it deserves, just knowing how much I really have loved that palette. Okay, and the last face palette I have to share is one from NARS. So happy to see a NARS face palette in here, because we know I love a NARS face palette. This is the Overlust Cheek Palette. And I first shared this in June of 2022, and I only had a pan in this shade right here. And then it was either last holiday or this June that I then expanded to having a pan in this shade right here. And I now have a pan in all three of the highlighting shades on top, which is so exciting. This is more of a cream to powder sort of formula, or a creamy formula. It's very putty-like. So kind of easy to like manipulate a little bit. I'm not saying like I only reached for each shade a couple of times and hit pan. It definitely took effort, but just know it is kind of like a cream putty formula, but I absolutely love it. I love my NARS face palette so much. This is definitely one of my favorites. I even love the blush shades just because they're all a little bit more muted, very easy to wear kind of with any look. And this is definitely a palette that's gotten a lot of love from me in its lifetime. But after that, you guys, those are the 21 beauty products currently that have at least one pan throughout my makeup collection. Like I said, I absolutely love tracking this. This is one of my favorite things to track, and I get excited to like update and see where my progress is at. And I'm so excited to hopefully add a few more pans to my collection by next June. I usually update about every 6 months, and I'm excited to see how I can expand some of these, potentially finish a bronzer up. Who knows? We will see. But I would love to know in the comments below, what are some of the products throughout your collection that have a pan that you are most proud of? Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel, as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video. Bye.